Okay, real quick, here's what I would do in a problem like this. We're going to find f prime of -3. Remember that tells us like the slope of -3. Okay. You're given a fraction, which we need to change because in order to really do the power rule, we can't just move the 4 and all that kind of junk because it's in the bottom of a fraction. So our first step is just to rewrite this. And we're going to rewrite this as basically a negative exponent. So whenever I see it in the bottom of a fraction, I can really just rewrite it as x to the -4th. All right, remember that relationship, right? If it is a negative exponent, I can put it in the bottom of a fraction, vice versa. So this is me rewriting it. I haven't even taken the derivative yet. I've just rewritten. And now I can use the power rule. Okay, so now I can actually use the power rule. So in something like this, now I would bring that -4 down. And that would be, yep. And then I would subtract 1. That would actually be a -5. So this would be like my derivative, right? But if I need to plug in -3, right, like I could actually plug that in right now. And if I have a calculator, I can use a calculator because remember that taking something to the -5th power doesn't actually mean like multiplying by -5. What this actually means is I would actually have to like convert this back into the fraction kind of form that it started with. So I would rewrite this again as, let's see, I'm going to keep my coefficient on top, but then this x to the -5 goes on the bottom. So now if I want to substitute, I can substitute in, and I would get -4 over -3 to the 5th. And oh goodness, I got to actually multiply that out. Let's see, that's going to be 9 times 9 times 3, 273 on the bottom. I think it's a negative over -4. So like 4 over 273 because those two negatives become a positive. So that's what I would do there. So if you were to kind of think back in a problem like this, let me highlight some things. Once again, we couldn't do the power rule until I've changed it to like a regular x to the power. Right, so we just kind of have to remember that relationship between negative exponents and something being on the bottom of a fraction. So I can always switch that back and forth. In this case, I switch it so that I can do the power rule. So I just brought that -4 down and subtracted 1. That's where this came from. And then I could just plug in the -3 here. If you have a calculator, it might still work and you might get some awful decimal. But how I evaluate them is I put them back into a fraction. So I just basically took that -5th, put it back in the denominator, and then I plugged in that -3. That's how I would do those. Hopefully that helps you.